All right, all right. Welcome to KaPow Film Festival. This is the Q&A section of the KaPow Film Festival, and we have filmmaker Ryan Edwards. How's it going, Ryan?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. And Ryan's film is called Not Clickbait. So, Ryan, where are you from?
I'm spent my whole life in Wichita, Kansas. So I grew up there. I'm back home now in my childhood bedroom. So only
Interesting.
bedroom I've known.
Oh, what? So, have you always wanted to be a filmmaker?
Yeah, I'd say it's well, I mean every kid goes through like a lot of different things, but when it really grabbed was like eighth grade. I couldn't I've always had trouble with sleep. So I had, an iPhone. I would just go on to Netflix under the covers because I wasn't still very young, but I spent all night and then start, you know, and that just led me down a path of accidentally getting into art house films through like Tarantino and then just clearing all the Netflix watch list and staying up all night. And that was really when I'd say I started to realize that that was my true passion.
Interesting, interesting. How did you start implementing that? Now that you knew that you love doing this, like what was your first step into like figuring out what to do?
Me and my brother have always made little short films. Like the first one was called The Pressure, and I was maybe like first grade. And so I had just been noting that. And then also my brother was a big inspiration that he did editing of sports videos. So he was doing that, kind of get to that remake of videos because at the time he wasn't using his own footage. He had to get them. And so that kind of editing was probably where I started. And so I had written before. And so taking stuff there and I'd put like my favorite middle school songs to movie scenes. And so kind of the editing was where I started. And then I got into also one big inspiration, funny enough, was I got detention. I forget what for, but that they knew I was good at editing stuff. So I think they gave me detention not for a good reason. And they wanted me to do a video for, I think it was MLK Day. So they gave
Okay.
me a longer detention than normal just so I can make the video. It's
Oh,
pretty cool.
interesting.
It's like my first film was because of detention.
Oh, interesting, interesting. So I imagine, are there a lot of filmmakers in Kansas, or are you like one of the few in your area that's like really getting into it?
There's surprisingly more in Wichita. I think Tallgrass Film Fest. I helped with that connected me with a lot. So maybe it's a more. I know most of the Wichita film that was really I had a lot of like cool guys and girls that we kind of had would cycle around on the films. So that almost out of less competition, you knew you were gonna get like the light for film and that you would be director and actor and everything. So a lot of I think there were too many who were really into it. Those who did, we kind of created a little community. So that was really cool.
Nice, awesome, awesome. Well, let's talk about your film, Not Clickbait. I mean, very interesting. What was the premise of making this?
I think my first subject was they had a little competition with the guy who I'm forgetting his name, but wrote and directed Paranormal Activity. And so I had thought of, and it had to be found footage. And I did go to that scene. He was actually a really cool guy, but I didn't end up making that film. I think my best ideas come from is out of like those film race type things where you're forced. So I thought found footage. I've always done a kind of funny impression of a vlogger, and I think that whole subject area is kind of funny. But also a big vision, like thematically, was it felt like I was living the same day over and over because this was when quarantine was really like we were starting to realize we are not getting out of this anytime soon. And so it's like the same thing over and over with school and all of that. So I kind of wanted to capture that kind of combination of like with like not living the same, like hopping on the same Zoom every day and going on the same, like, so that's why there's like a tech over theme, is that repetition of, I feel we all, and hopefully we're all doing better now, but I definitely remember a lot of other people thinking like, oh my gosh, my life is so redundant right now.
Well, it's very interesting because it was very on par of what's going on with the vlogging aspect, and I did feel like Oren Pirelli, I think is the name of the filmmaker you're talking about for Paranormal. I did feel that aspect with it. It was very interesting. It did feel like found footage, and very on par with what's going on. But with what you just added about feeling that kind of like the whole repetition of just today's aspect.
Yeah, and it was also one thing was, um, I sometimes getting, in Kansas, it is small that you have to, and I mean, I'm 19 at the time. I think I was 18. It's that you have to do smaller than what you usually, and so that sometimes it can kind of feel like a sellout. But that COVID almost helped me because I didn't have to feel a sellout. I was doing, like, I could do a super small production, and it was like it was for everyone's safety. I couldn't do a production if I wanted to, so like I had to write a script, and I couldn't imagine a different script. But I had a script that was two people because I couldn't have, like, this scene's a busy house bustling. So then I guess through that, it felt like less, I was limiting myself, kind of was a relief as far as kind of, again, I had that film uh, aspect to it, working around the pandemic. And so then I felt extra proud that I made a film and I was saving lives by making it a small production.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So when did you shoot this?
I shot this all in a day with my best friend Micah in his. So he used to live in which I moved. So I drove up 23rd. His family wasn't, or I think they may have been at church or something that day, but they just went around. We just knocked it out in like about 4 hours. Just
Wow.
did it early in the morning, just knocked the whole film out. And editing probably was like, technically it was for a class, so probably first draft I edited in a day or two. But final version that's in film festivals is about a week of editing. But I'm big on like getting down to it and spending a lot of day doing it.
I mean, it's very impressive to be able to shoot that in that amount of time and to that kind of footage and how you guys edited. That's very, very good.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. What camera did you guys shoot it on?
Uh, I think it was like, I don't remember the name of the camera, and that was one thing that also helped. Is I'm definitely more into like writing, directing than like cameras and cinematography. So
Hmm.
that I had to like just grab a camera I had around, but then that also worked with the format of the found footage that I didn't have to worry about like this scene's lighting is terrible. It could make without sense if it's just a vlog or not too bright. And so that was one thing that really helped, that I could be very intentional with my less like cinematographer side. That it was I was able to focus just more acting and storytelling.
Nice. So what are your plans with the film? Are you planning on making it into a feature, or what are the next steps that you plan on doing?
I don't know if anyone ever wanted to make it a feature, I'd give it to them. But I'll probably, just because it's in the end, it's like a fun one. I'll try to get as many people to see it as they want. Hopefully, it can be like a fun thing, help other people feel better. So after I'm done with festivals, I'll probably upload it somewhere and just try to share it with people, and hopefully make them, because I think we all deserve it.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I want to congratulate you again, Ryan, and your whole team for doing a very entertaining, on par project. That, I mean, because there's a lot of vlogging videos that you see on YouTube and stuff, but you guys did a very interesting twist, very unique, very fun film. So where can people, get in contact with you, reach out to you and stuff? You have a website, Instagram, Facebook, if you want to give a shout out to all these.
What I'd say, my Instagram's just Ryan Charles X with underscore underneath. You follow or DM, I'm not doing much if you have any questions. And Micah Streeter is, I think you can just look him up on YouTube, pretty unique name, but he is the other, and he has some really great projects too. I'd recommend him on festivals as well.
Okay. Hey,
And
if you just want to repeat that again, because you were breaking up a little bit, where your Instagram, you mentioned your Instagram or your Facebook, or what were you mentioning?
Instagram, just Ryan Charles Edwards with a little underscore in between each name. You can message me or follow me, because usually put some stuff. And then you can look up on Facebook and YouTube, and he's the other creative behind it. And so he has a film called Untitled, also gonna be out, so watch out for that.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Ryan, we're looking forward to presenting your film during the festival. We're looking forward to you attending the festival and enjoying all the festivities. Although we're virtual, but it's still fun. It's still entertainment. Great job on giving us a project that we can, entertain the audience as well. And we're looking forward to more from you guys.
Thank you very much.
Wow.